Welcome to Books in Brief. We are starting today with a proposition that's, well, it's profoundly simple, but so often ignored. The best financial advice out there isn't some brand new crypto scheme or a trading algorithm.
Not at all. It's ancient.
Exactly. We're diving into the money management principles from what was, for a time, the wealthiest city on earth, Babylon.
And our guide for this deep dive is the classic, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason.
And the context here is so important.
It's critical, and it really frames our entire mission for you today. You see, Babylon's wealth wasn't an accident. It wasn't found. It was earned.
Right.
Its citizens developed these actionable financial cures and laws over thousands of years. So our mission is to get a handle on these principles, how to acquire, keep, and then multiply your wealth.
And understand why they still work, right? Why this is still a blueprint for financial security even today.
That distinction that Babylon's wealth was developed, that's what makes this so fascinating.
It wasn't sitting on a gold mine.
Not at all. It was in a flat, arid valley. They literally had to engineer their prosperity. They built these massive, man-made irrigation canals from the Euphrates River.
So the riches were, as the book says, man-developed. They didn't just wait for luck.
Exactly. And the central figure who really distills all these laws is Arkad, the richest man in Babylon.
And he comes out swinging.
He really does. He challenges you right away. He basically says that if you're just scraping by with nothing more than a bare existence, you've simply failed to learn the laws that govern building wealth.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's start with the absolute foundation, the very first cure. Start thy purse to fattening.
And this isn't just, save your money. It's about claiming ownership of your own work first.
It's a mandate, not a suggestion.
A hard rule. You must keep not less than 1/10 of everything you earn. And Arkad drives this home with a really simple analogy. He's talking to a scribe, and he says, you willingly pay the garment maker, you pay the sandal maker, you pay everyone.
But you're paying them with your labor.
You're laboring for others and paying everyone but yourself.
And if you earn 10 coins and immediately spend all 10, you're by definition putting everyone else's financial health ahead of your own.
That's it. You're dedicating your effort to them before you dedicate a single piece of it to your own future.
And this 10%, it's not just a number. It's the seed capital.
Arkad calls every piece of saved gold a slave to work for you. And then the earnings from that gold, the interest.
Those are its children.
Exactly. And those children must also be put to work. The real goal is to build an army of gold pieces all working for you relentlessly.
I love that image. That first copper saved is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. And the book stresses that it's a huge psychological shift. By setting aside that 10%, you create a treasure that only you have a claim to.
And that single act stimulates a new joy of life.
Yeah.
You feel this immediate effect of building self-respect and certainty.
So once you have that habit, the next job is defending it.
Which leads us straight to the second cure. Control thy expenditures.
This is basically the ancient warning against lifestyle creep, isn't it?
It is. Arkad noticed that necessary expenses have this amazing ability to grow until they perfectly match your income.
Unless you fight back.
Unless you, as he puts it, protest against this tendency.
And the way you protest is by figuring out what's a need versus what's a want.
Right. Because desires, as Arkad points out, are endless. A multitude. If you try to gratify every desire, you'll always end up with your purse empty and still have ungratified desires.
Yeah. So the solution isn't just earning more, it's being intentional.
It's intentional allocation, and that's where the budget comes in. So many people see a budget as restrictive, but here it's framed as something empowering.
Yeah, it's described as a bright light in a dark cave. It just shows you where the money is leaking out.
And it lets you plug those leaks. It's about self-mastery, not self-deprivation. It gives you control.
Okay, but what about people who are already in debt?
Right.
Does the book just ignore them?
Not at all. It actually offers a very precise system for managing debt, and it's taken from these ancient clay tablets that tell the story of a man named Dabasir, the camel trader.
This is the famous Babylonian 70-20-10 rule.
Correct. And the key is you don't get to pause your wealth building just because you owe money.
So how does it break down?
The structure is this. 70% of your income goes to your necessities and, a modest enjoyment of life. 20% is dedicated to paying off your creditors honorably and fairly.
And the last 10%?
That final 10% you save, it's still yours. That part is non-negotiable personal savings.
Okay, but I have to jump in here because this is where modern advice might clash a bit.
Go on.
Well, if you're facing, say, a 25% credit card interest rate, Wouldn't the smart move be to throw that 10% at the debt too? Get rid of that high-interest monster first.
Logically, mathematically, yes, that makes perfect sense. But Arkad's argument is psychological. It's about your mindset.
So it's not just about the numbers.
It's not. Dabasir, the camel trader, proved this. By keeping that 10% for himself, he maintained the habit of wealth creation. And crucially, he kept his self-respect. He felt like he was building a future, not just paying for past mistakes.
So that 10% saved becomes an emotional anchor.
Precisely. It gives the debtor the determination they need. Dabasir successfully paid off 119 pieces of silver and 141 pieces of copper. He found it was psychologically easier to pay his debts with a plan than to keep avoiding them.
That sets us up perfectly for the next step. Cure number 3. Make thy gold multiply.
Right, because if you're saving 10% but it's just sitting in a purse, it's not doing anything for you.
It's static.
The goal here is to establish a golden stream of income that flows constantly, whether you're working, sleeping, or traveling. This is basically the oldest definition of passive income we have.
And the best way to see the power of this golden stream is through compounding. The book gives a great example with a farmer's son.
Right, he was given 10 pieces of silver.
A small amount.
A very small amount. But he put it to work, renting it out, and the crucial part is, every 4 years, he took the earnings and added them back to the principal.
And over 50 years, that tiny investment.
It grew almost 17 times. It became 167 pieces of silver.
That's incredible. And it's not from his own labor.
It's from the labor of his capital. It shows how gold, when put to work, multiplies even as the flocks of the field.
But compounding, powerful as it is, comes with a risk.
It does, and Arkad's own story gives us a necessary dose of caution, which brings us to the next law. He talks about his very first investment failure.
Oh yes, the famous story where he lost everything by trusting Esmur, the brickmaker.
Exactly. Arkad had saved up for a whole year and wanted to invest. Asmor, who was traveling, convinced Arkad to give him all his gold to buy rare jewels in a faraway city.
And what happened?
Arkad got totally fleeced. Asmor came back with just worthless bits of colored glass that he'd bought from some con artists.
He must have been devastated. A whole year's savings, gone.
He was. And he realized he'd made a huge mistake. He trusted a man who knew everything about bricks but nothing about jewels.
And that terrible experience led directly to the 4th law of gold. Guard thy treasures from loss.
The first principle of investment isn't the return, it's the security of your principal. The book warns you about the deceitful sirens of these get-rich-quick schemes.
These fanciful propositions.
Exactly. When something promises to make you rich suddenly, you have to run the other way.
And the best protection against these schemes is wise counsel.
That was Arkad's painful lesson. Never trust a brickmaker's advice on jewels. You have to seek advice from people who are experienced in handling money for profit.
So we've covered saving, budgeting, and multiplying. Now we get to long-term planning with Cures 5 and 6.
Right. Securing your assets and future income. Cure 5 is all about homeownership, owning your own dwelling.
Your own roof.
It's a profitable investment, sure, but it also puts confidence in your heart, and really importantly, it reduces your cost of living over the long term.
I have to push back a little on that for today's world. I mean, with housing prices being what they are, is that still the best first move for a young person?
That's a fair question. I think the core principle isn't that you must own a single-family home, but that you must work to reduce your largest recurring expenses, like rent.
So it's about stability.
It's about having a stable, non-fluctuating roof of your own that frees up more of your income for investing. The financial security it provides is the key.
I see. So it's about stabilizing your assets, and that leads right into Cure 6. Ensure a future income.
Exactly. Just like the walls of Babylon protected the city from invaders, we have to use modern tools to protect ourselves and our families in our later years.
So for them, it was land and physical assets. For us, the book's modern take is insurance, savings accounts, and dependable investments.
A person building wealth has to think about the days when they can no longer work, whether that's through systematic deposits that compound over decades or life insurance. The goal is guarding against the challenges of old age or an untimely death.
Okay, finally, we get to the most active part. Cure number 7. Increase thy ability to earn. This is the real engine.
It is. It's the acknowledgement that wealth doesn't just happen to you. Arkad taught that before you can accomplish more, you must have a strong, definite desire to earn more.
Not just a vague wish to be rich?
No, a tangible commitment to improving yourself. The idea is that as you perfect yourself in your calling, your ability to earn just naturally increases.
So if you seek to learn more about your craft, you'll be rewarded.
And this all ties back to self-respect. You build that inner confidence by paying your debts, caring for your family. That's the foundation you need to go after bigger goals.
Which brings us to the final ingredient. You have to actually take action. The book is very clear that good luck isn't about chance.
No, it is not. Good luck, they taught, can be enticed, but only by accepting opportunity. Dabasir, the camel trader again, he had a chance to buy some land that would have made him rich.
But he procrastinated.
He waited on the down payment. The land was sold to someone else. Opportunity waits for no one.
And that spirit of procrastination is the enemy. It's what causes people to hesitate, falter, and fall behind.
The conclusion here is so powerful. Men of action are favored by the goddess of good luck. The best plans in the world are useless if you don't act.
So to wrap it all up, the whole framework is really distilled into the 5 laws of gold.
Right, which Arkad passed down to his son. First, save at least 1/10 of all you earn. Second, find profitable work for your gold so it multiplies.
Third, seek wise counsel from people who know what they're doing with money.
Fourth, avoid investments you don't understand where your principal isn't safe.
And fifth, flee the tricksters and the get-rich-quick schemes.
That's it. The power of the richest man in Babylon is that it's also consistent. It's just common sense, self-discipline, and safety.
Arkad said that wealth grows wherever men exert energy.
An exertion of consistency, of caution, and of continuous learning.
Considering these enduring principles of Babylon: consistency, safety, and multiplication, what small, consistent, productive exertion could you start today, right now, that your future self will thank you for?
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this brief exploration of the book, feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future deep dives. New book insights are coming soon. See you next time.